Now then, the last 12 months have seen a big change for Westlife. 5 became 4 when Brian McFadden left in March. Since then, they've notched up a top 10 single, a top 20 album, and this Christmas hope to score even higher when they step back in time with a tribute to the Rat Pack.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow.
Ah, the wonderful Westlife are here right now. Hi, guys. Good morning. Are you all right?
How are you?
Oh, absolutely fine. What a great album. Because a lot of people will say, oh, everyone's jumping on that kind of wonderful Rat Pack cool sound. But you had a particular reason for doing it.
No. I think we just kind of always had the idea of doing a themed album before Westlife, you know, while we were doing Westlife, and we always thought, you know, what better time to do it than after our last album, because we didn't want to do it after the greatest hits, because it would just, people would, you know, in the media would say make up all the type of rubbish. And then we kind of felt after the last album this was the right time, and when we started talking about ideas and stuff, the Rat Pack seemed to be the one that we all felt most comfortable with. We knew the songs, we loved the songs, and we thought that it'd be something that our fans would really enjoy too.
Well, also, we can't escape the fact that 5 became 4, Brian left.
Yes.
And did Brian's leaving give you a chance to sit back and think, let's just think, now that we're 4, are we slightly different?
Yeah, well, I think straight away, you know, we were, you know, obviously very different. But I think what was important was, as soon as Brian left, to sit down and to make what we felt was the right album. And I think Westlife, you know, I mean, we've gone beyond all the rest of the bands like us before, Take That, Boys On, even Spice Girls, if you call it pop groups. So every album we do now is more important than you know, the first 3 were. So I think when Brian left, it was like, right lads, you know, we need to do something here that's not just a kind of another pop album, another kind of run-of-the-mill every year, another pop album. So we did this, and it was something, as Keane said, we've always wanted to do. So we got in, we did it, and now, you know, we just look forward to the future, you know, because I think it makes ourselves and also our public, our fans, more hungry now for our next pop album. Yeah.
And you're growing up, of course.
How did you think when Brian went? Was there a moment when you thought, oh my God, the whole dynamic's changed here, we could be in trouble?
Absolutely. I mean, you know, kind of it's natural when something like that changes, when a drastic sort of change happens, that you sort of look to the future and wonder exactly how strong or weak it is. And I suppose it did pop through our heads for a little bit. I mean, directly after he told us, we were sort of like, what are we going to do here, lads? You know, does this mean it's over for us and everything? And I mean, it didn't take us very long to realise that we all, you know, the rest of us, the 4 of us, wanted to continue, and there was no doubt about that in our minds. And, you know, I mean, as I say, it did pop into our heads, but literally it just popped in and popped back out again 5 minutes later.
You know?
Was it a shock when Brian went, or had there been rumblings for a while?
To be honest, it was a shock. I don't think it was something that we expected at all. You know, we knew he was kind of down the dumps a bit, but not for that long, you know. So we kind of, when he told us, we were gobsmacked. And I remember he came into the room and just said, you know, I want to leave, and we were like, and this was like less than 3 weeks before our first gig on our world tour last year. You know, so we had to put our
never looked like that though when he was in Westlife.
Yes.
But you know, it was a shock. But as Mark said, you know, we kind of had no choice but to get on with it, and we got on. We chose to go on with it, and you know, maybe it could be the best thing that ever happened to this band. You know what I mean?
Are you still in touch though?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Still...
We were out with him on Saturday night, actually. Yeah, we had a good night with him on Saturday night.
Did you really?
We did,
Well,
yeah.
wasn't there in the papers that Saturday night he was with Kerry? They got back together.
Well, no, it wasn't Saturday night, but the night they were talking about, we were actually with Brian. It was myself, Mark and Shane, and Brian were chatting until about 4 in the morning, weren't we? Yeah. In Shane's room in the hotel, so he wasn't... Well, the papers weren't true that night, I'm afraid.
Basically, we were all in the hotel, and we were in the bar with Kerry and Brian and Molly and a few other friends of ours and stuff like that. And obviously somebody seen Brian and Kerry in the same room and said, oh, they're back together, you know, and all that kind of stuff, you know, just speculation really, but...
It's good that they can be in the same room.
Added pressure, the press speculation that once Brian had gone, that you guys, as we've already talked about, you were amongst yourselves thinking, all right, where do we go from here? That they were saying, well, this next album, you know, this is the big one for them, because if they don't prove it with this, then it's all over.
So I mean, definitely there was a lot of pressure. I mean, we felt the pressure straight away from our tour, because we went on tour before we made the album as a 4-piece, and I think that gave us a huge kind of kind of restart to our whole feeling about the whole thing, because the reaction from the audience was amazing. A lot of people said in respect to Brian that it was our best tour ever.
Yes.
And you know, that to us was something, gave us a lot of confidence going into the studio to make this album. And then when it came to making this album, you know, we've kind of got to just ignore what the press say. It's what we've been doing for the last 6 years.
We've been writing this out for 6 years, yeah.
So we have to just ignore what they're saying, and we have to kind of say to ourselves, well, this is what we want to do, this is what we're enjoying doing, this is what our fans are enjoying, so forget about what
it's funny actually, because I had my parents over for Sunday lunch yesterday, and my dad actually stopped me, a fork up to my mouth, said, no, I bought the Westlife album. So I said, have you really? So he said, yes, do you know, it's very good. Now, for my dad to compliment anybody who touches anything that's got to do with the Rat Pack, it must be pretty good. So he was absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, we spent. I mean, one of the main things was that we love that music and respect it. You know, with utmost respect. And one of the main sort of things we said before we went into it was that if we don't do this authentically, if it doesn't turn out authentic and sort of a good, version or whatever, and it tips our ass off to the boys or whatever, that we can't do it, we won't do it. If you know what I mean. So we went in and demoed up a couple of songs, and it turned out pretty decent. And we're not trying to better it or anything like that, but we're just trying to, let some of our younger fans that haven't heard it before hear this wonderful music, and also just do something that we enjoy to do.
A 60-piece orchestra.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was fantastic.
A completely different recording, from a kind of normal pop album. We went in there, we had to get into character. You know what I mean? It was like we were putting on trilby hats in the studio to really get into it and stuff, and then we knew it was sounding good just from the demos we were doing, and then when we actually heard it all back together, producing and finished, it was it was something special. We knew it was good.
Well, you look great in all the gear. It's lovely, these little shoestring ties.
I know, I get to like these suits now.
It's lovely, isn't it? Drain pipe trousers, it all looks so cool. The single, Smile, that we just saw a little clip of earlier, you're going to perform for us later.
Yeah.
That's the single from the album released today. You're hoping for the Christmas #1.
Well, it's not actually a single.
It's released on the download.
Yeah, we haven't actually released a single off this album officially that you can go into the shops and buy it. You can only buy the album. So it's probably our record company's fault as usual. But you have to actually buy the album in order to be able to get the songs. And the idea is that we want people to hear the full album instead of hearing one song, because we feel it's untrue to the album to have one single off the album. That's why we promoted it into Kick in the Head, Smile, Mac the Knife, Fly Me to the Moon. We've made like 3 videos for it all. It's a whole package more so than one song.
It's so popular now with the Bobby Darin Beyond the Sea movie as well, and the Rat Pack itself, the 3 guys that go around as the Rat Pack.
We actually went to see their show. And then we went to the one in Vegas as well.
Yeah.
And at Beyond the Sea premiere last week, it was fantastic. We went to the premiere, we met up with Kevin Spacey, and we did a song with him at the after show party. And then our TV special on ITV that goes out on December 18th.
Yeah, now this
we do a song with him on it as well. There's one on his own and one with us, which is fantastic.
But you also do a song with a woman who won a competition to sing with you.
This is Joanne Hindley.
Joanne Hindley, I mean, we were very pleased with the result of that competition. We basically set out to find somebody through auditions right across the country. The country.
We're in a country.
we were a bit wary as to my accent's slipping out there. We were a bit wary as to the kind of standard of what we'd find. We were afraid that just loads of people would come along wanting our signatures and pictures with us, and nobody would have any interest in the actual singing. But it was quite to the contrary, and we found literally an amazing singer.
Yeah,
she's proper, kind of full on like professional style singer or whatever.
So you've done your own X Factor and found it.
And we found someone better than any of the other competitions.
Really? She's that good, is she?
She's very
she's
good.
excellent,
We think she's very, very good,
And the programme, your special is on when? December
18th. Yeah.
ITV 1,
Yeah, it's called
9
She's the
o'clock.
One.
And you'll see her as well.
Yeah,
Joanne.
well, there's actually a few surprises on it. They surprised us by doing our dads came on TV. And
as the Rat Pack,
and dressed up in the tuxedos, and they sang That's Life. So we're sitting there watching our dads.
That was amazing.
And we did
they do a good job?
It was fantastic.
It was very good, yeah. It was surprisingly very good, yeah.
Are they singers?
Oh no, they can sing. Like some of them could sing.
My father's never sang a day in his life. That was the first time he ever done it.
But he could sing though.
But it's very good.
When you see it, it's more kind of not laughing at them, but laughing like with. It's all about having fun. It's not. They're not trying to be taken seriously or whatever. It's It's all a bit of fun.
And you guys, what sort of Christmas are you going to be having? Are you all split up on Christmas? You get any time off at all?
Well, our tour is sooner this year. We've got our number ones tour that goes out, begins February 1st and brings us right through till the end of April. So we do all of UK and Ireland and Europe. Then we get into South Africa and Bahrain and Dubai and all over the place. So, but it's just nice to get home for Christmas, you know. And this time of year, you're always kind of looking ahead to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And we break up on the 19th of December for about 2-3 weeks.
Let me just interrupt you there, and we've got to hand to an outside broadcast. Fern thinks this is Brian McFadden, but it's not actually. Let me hand you live now to Phil Vickery.
You're joking.
You thought we were actually... You thought I was Brian McFadden, but I'm not in a hotel. I'm here at Winnie's school, Ferno. And look at this.
There she is. Because I'm here missing the nativity. Winnie, where is she? Yes.
She's right there.
There she is in the middle, not singing. Oh no, she's singing now, nodding. Oh my gosh. Oh, Winnie. Sing, you fool. Gosh, thank you. Look at her. Look, she's obviously learnt the words.
I don't think this isn't the bit she sings in.
Oh, isn't it? Oh, that's all
I
right.
think so.
Yeah, that's Mrs. Dean.
Is it?
Yes, she's quite scary.
Is she? She's very good to let us go.
Oh, whoa! Oh, Phil, thank you. Do you know what they said to me?
You got tears in your eyes.
Yes. They said to me, we got Brian McFadden down the line. Don't tell the boys. Could be a lovely surprise because he's going to wish them luck and everything else. So here am I sitting waiting. Oh, that was
Big secret, and it worked.
Oh, gosh.
We've got to perform in a minute. I don't know how we're going to follow that.
We heard about it 2 hours ago.
Because obviously she's doing her nativity and I'm here.
Yeah.
What a bad
You
mother
saw
I
it,
am.
but you saw it.
And isn't she gorgeous?
She was very good. I think she's something of a star of
yes,
the future.
I think so.
I think
Westlife
she's got
loved
the
her.
X factor. Listen, guys, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very, very
See you for us
much.
a little bit later on. It's terrific.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for coming in. No, it's a